Alrighty. Let's check out this cross video, huh? Destiny has a serious problem right now. I wonder what this problem could be.
This was shot in front of a live studio audience at twitch.tv/Sweatcicle.
Let's see this
that
one.
Dado just quit Destiny. It has been brought to my attention. Dado says, see you at Renegades. Bye for a little while. Yeah, that's a long ass break. Renegades is not until December. Good for him, honestly. Who cares? I care. I like Dado. Am I going to do the same? I'm going to be sticking around for the exotic quests. And I guess I'm going to stick around for the 6-player.
There's an exotic quest? Wait, hold on. When? October? Is there a date or is it just October? Oh yeah, the one that they said that wasn't ready when Ash and Iron launched. Yeah, that's right, dude. They're like, yeah, it's still in development. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Festival of the Lost Activity. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but November is looking pretty dead. Like, November is straight up looking like no man's land. I don't think Destiny's got anything happening in November. Interestingly enough, King Gadalion, and look, this is coming off the back of, like, Glad not participating in the race this past week. But Gadalion right there, how long before Dado doesn't Destiny? Dado says right here, don't worry, the community will push me out well before the game does. Pretty soon. Tired of this. That engagement bait is wild. I don't think there's any engagement baiting happening here. This sounds like a man that's fed up with your shit. That's what that sounds like.
He's dead serious. Like I said, I talked to Dado yesterday for like a couple hours. Bro, I do not blame him for being as like wanting to leave as he is. You know, Dado's been around longer than any of the other creators. Is it kind of quiet? I can turn it up. Am I wrong in saying that Dado is basically like the OG of OGs that's still left? Because I didn't really watch him in D1, but I knew of him. Because I didn't really watch like a lot of D2 creators. The only one I really ended up watching, it wasn't until like, I don't even... The only one that I watched like up until Rise of Iron was like DPJ reacts to like top 5 exotic drops and stuff and like more console. It was like those two, I think. I don't think I watched anybody else, really. I was kind of out of the loop on like the whole YouTube meta, I guess. I don't know.
Like, and Dado also has an entirely other channel. You know, he's got a second channel. Dado's got like an entirely second channel, so I'm sure he's going to continue doing stuff over there. I like Dado a lot, and I hate that he may be taking a break for a variety of reasons, but I will say we're in a difficult time right now with Destiny. I've been really fucked up this past week, so I haven't had an opportunity to really just sit down and just collect my thoughts about everything in its totality. But you got a lot of people that are upset, that don't like the state of the game, wanted a Destiny 3. You've got numbers that don't look good. We had the epic raid launch this past weekend, and I don't even think, let me actually pull it up. I don't even know if we broke 30,000 players. Yeah, it doesn't look good.
No, we didn't.
It doesn't look good. It's not an entirely new raid that just dropped, but it is a new raid. You know what I mean? It's a newish kind of raid. They added an encounter. They added new mechanics.
I'd like to put this on the record. I really wish we had the Blizzard numbers from back in 2018, 2017, 2018. Because I'm 99% sure more people played Prestige Eater of Worlds and Prestige Spire Stars than people played the hard mode version of this raid. And obviously this is better than both Prestige Eater and Prestige Spire combined because of like how stupid the modifiers were. But the fact that more people were playing then versus now, people have given up.
When you see numbers like this, man, it's concerning, dude. It's concerning.
They've lost faith.
There's just a lot of really good games out right now. You know, between
that too.
Borderlands, between Path of Exile, if you're into those type of games, between Silksong and all the games that just recently.
Cross didn't play Silksong, did he?
I just feel like
I don't think I
there's
saw him
just
playing it at all.
so many great options to play. I guess the other thing is too is just like we need to sit down and just ask like what can be done at this point. Like what can be done on Bungie's end to make the game better, to draw people back in.
Not yet.
And I know a lot of you are probably gonna say Cross that ship is sailed. You know. It's called the final shape for a reason. There's there's no return to the good old days, the glory days, quote unquote glory days. You know, everybody would say like glory days was different for them in Destiny. Some people would say it was like Destiny 1 back in the day when we were just starting to discover so many different things. And, you know, the first time you got a Sorcerer Gene, the first time you got Icebreaker. Some people would say that Forsaken was the golden days. And for me, I think it was. That time frame of
it's
Forsaken,
indisputable.
Black Armory.
It's literally indisputable. So, from Forsaken launch all the way up until Beyond Light was like the golden age of Destiny 2. Sentiment was at the highest it ever was and probably will ever be. You can almost disregard the player numbers. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of people playing, but Sentiment, that's when the Shadowkeep, you gotta understand, Shadowkeep was garbage, but people were glazing it because, oh, they split from Activision, everything's saved, guys. Activision was so greedy, and poor Bungie was just, they were just following the wishes of their master, Activision. Oh, the poor indie guys, they're on their own. It's looking so good. Oh my god, I can't wait. The future's bright. Here we go. Blast off. Like, dude.
To see them opulence was such a just crazy time.
People
and
cannot
so
think for
much
themselves,
stuff
bro.
happening nonstop.
Critical
Like you say,
thinking
the Taken
skills,
King. I also
gone.
look back fondly on like the Witch Queen era. Like I think Witch Queen was really, really good, and all the upgrades to our subclasses and the 3.0 changes. Yeah, we're in a weird spot that, you know, a lot of people have moved on. They moved on. And so you've got people that are upset, and I would say
moved on
rightfully
until
so.
they
But you
do
also got,
something
like, I
cool.
will say the community, man, it's like, dude, I've gotten more comments
That's it.
than ever. It's like,
It's
dude,
not even that they've moved on and never will come back. Some people, yes, but I feel like that's a small majority of the people that left. The small majority of people that left will never touch it again. But if they actually did something worthwhile and worth people's time and money, people would buy it. It's quite literally that simple. It's almost like the same concept as a content creator, and that's why I say that. It's like, I make a bunch of different videos, and those different videos may not resonate with everybody, but like if I do something really cool, there's a chance that everybody just shows up and is like, oh, what is Sweat up to lately? This looks fun. You know?
And you keep playing this garbage game. You know what I mean? I mean, just go out of their way. I love YouTube's feature.
You could argue that I'm wrong, but that's the way I feel about it. I don't know.
And I'm talking, I mean, we've got like a dedicated squad of people just like, every time a Destiny video goes out, they're like, dude, fuck this game.
Yep.
How could you play this dog shit? You know what I mean? I don't mind. But I can completely see why it wears on a person, you know, because the last thing someone wants to be doing, you know, they're sitting there trying to get through a contest mode raid, but going through like mechanics, trying to optimize DPS, and at the corner of his eyes, he's probably seeing just like rogue comments.
I told you guys the vibes on Saturday were going to be awful.
I will say this though, Bungie, I'm completely willing
to
move
man.
to Seattle, to become the head of the studio, and it would be a, you know, an immense sacrifice having to uproot the family, but I'll do it. And I'm not going to say I'm going to fix the game, but something's going to happen. We would do something. Something would change. Better or for worse, but something would change. It would be.
Listen, if you're hiring Cross, that means you got to offer me a job too, bro. Hire me as like a gameplay consultant. I'll take like a Jimmy Beast $500,000 salary, you know, and I'll tell you whether it's good or it's shit, and don't ship it. We can go through these ideas in the incubation stage instead of getting it all the way to the gameplay stage, it being garbage, and then nobody wants to play it, and it's wasted money. Let's fix the problem at its source rather than after the fact. You can be raid, QA, and feed your friends insider info. I did see something about that on Twitter, and I don't know if it's true. That apparently there have been like raid QA testers that were feeding people information. And I'm very intrigued. on whether there's any legitimacy to that or not. It's pretty much confirmed. Yo, by the way, Gus, thank you for the 46 months. Sorry I'm really late on that. Thank you, bro. Amy, thank you for the 17, and Jem, thanks for the 46. It's real, but only helped after World's First. That doesn't make it any less bad, though. People who QA'd the raid before it came out, people still care about placement. Well, not as much anymore, but like, they said apparently that clears him of breaking NDA. From a legal perspective, sure, but that still doesn't make it right. In a competition where placements between 1 and 25 are still highly respected, getting information from somebody who literally QA tested the raid so you can still place like top 10 is gross. And you should be ashamed. That's the thing, is like, if you're someone who has an inside source at Bungie and you get information about, like, let's just say an expansion in general, like some of the upcoming stuff, I don't think that's an issue. But anything that's like a raid, or I guess if for those who care about the dungeon race, you could argue that too. But if you're getting fed inside info, it's like, it's all cooked, bro. So when did you see Last Wish? Yeah. Bro, if we had insider info and we're that far behind, we're terrible. Because we were literally hours and hours, bro. We were like 7 hours late to Riven. So either we just played the greatest con of all time, or we're just stupid.
I see. If anything, I could be the fall guy. If Destiny ends up just going to shit, well, you can say, hey, we took a gamble on this fucker, you know, and we brought him in, and he shit the bed. But for real though, I don't know what can be done. Like I've sat around and thought to myself at night, what can be done to make Destiny great again? I guess we can start with some hats. Yeah, people are taking breaks from Destiny in a big way. Creators like Dado and others are taking breaks. Grenader Jake, I think, just put out a video here recently saying that he's taking a break from Trials. It ain't looking good, fellas. It ain't looking good. I just like playing good games, and I will go where the good games are. And there's some pretty spicy games out there. Am I going to quit Destiny? I'm not saying I am. But if something fondles the balls just right, I will allow it. You know what I'm saying? Whether that be Arc Raiders, whether that be the Cube, whether that still be PoE.
I'm intrigued by the Cube game.
Back in the day, Bungie could fuck up because I brought this up.
When does that come out?
Back in the day, I get pissed off at Destiny. I close it. I'd be like, fuck this game. And I pull up my library of games and I'd be like, everything looks like shit. I guess I'm going to go play Destiny 1 again and hopefully get that God Rise Luna now. And so you didn't have as many options. Now, though, you get pissed off. You throw open the library and you're just like, oh, damn, maybe I do want to replay BG3. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I do want to finally finish Dying Light. There's just so many great games. And so Bungie's really, and like a lot of people are like, oh, wait. But
they're great games, but nothing fondles the balls like Destiny has.
As Destiny? No. That's incorrect. It's competing for your time. They're all fighting with each other. They're all competing. Obviously, you have more direct competitors like Borderlands here recently, which I think is what's making
I don't know if it has a date
inside of Destiny right now. But they're all competing for your time. And there's been some banging games that have dropped. Anyways, what do we do in this situation? The community is upset. Bungie seems, I would say, fatigued. Some have said creatively bankrupt. But, you know, I feel like Bungie, whether it's fatigue or other things, I think Bungie's priority is just Marathon, and that's not an excuse. I just think that that's their entire focus. How do they get Marathon out the door, and how can they keep not even all four wheels on this car? If Destiny is a
Marathon is already out the door though. It fell off the front porch, rolled its ankle, broke its leg, and slammed its head on the concrete and is bleeding out. Am I wrong? Yeah, and then got arrested for stealing a ring pop from the local gas station. Yeah. Comic. I don't know, man. Is it okay? So is the projected date for marathon still like March? Is that the vibe? I don't know. Or maybe they just said quarter 1. I thought it was like March. I just can't even remember dates anymore, bro. All just blends together. Your video yesterday was spot on. The only thing I disagree with on Nutty is being in charge of D3. They have a bad reputation with scummy practices, and notably Diablo Immortal. Yeah, and you think Bungie is not full of scummy practice? Like, what's your point? You can say what you want about NetEase, like, doing scummy practices, but at least they make good games. Literally, when did Marvel Rivals come out? Wasn't that early last year? It was like literally one of the best games of the year. Guess who made it? NetEase. They know how to make a multiplayer game, bro. But they're Chinese spyware? I don't care. Bro, let me play a fun game. You can have my fucking credit card. I don't care. If they really want it, they're already going to have it. It's the internet, bro. I just want a good game. That's all I want. I want to live a simple life where I wake up, I want to do some dumb things with the pixels on my screen. You guys go, haha, XD. I post it to YouTube. I can make a living. I keep the fucking lights on, and I can order DoorDash. And I have a good time. That's all I want. Simple life.
Can you make this bitch roll on one fucking wheel? That's really what Bungie, in my opinion, what they're attempting to do. How can we keep this fucker rolling on one tire? And it just don't work like that. You can't just go in there and cheap your ass through this thing, especially with a live game, a live service. Marathon is going to kill both games. Marathon is already dead on arrival. Art Theft was the nail man. I know there's been some play tests and other things. What I do know is that internally, that game failing is code fucking red. I mean, that shit cannot happen. And like, I'm not even if it was like not even a semi-success, but like just a break even, that still would be catastrophic for Bungie. And so they are doing everything they can to keep that from happening. And I just think
they would be lucky to break even.
I have no idea what's going to happen. The game Marathon could roll out.
All memes aside, at this point, with all the hundreds of millions they've probably invested into this game, they would be lucky to break even.
I do care that it seems that many of my friends over the years have quit Destiny. This list just keeps getting longer and longer of people that have quit Destiny. Bungie doesn't want to hear this. They don't want to hear this, but I think there's really only one answer, everybody. Destiny 3. It's not that Destiny 3 would be better than Destiny 2. It's the perception that Destiny 3 could be better than Destiny 2. Obviously, if it rolls out and
just don't even Cross. Come on, man. Cross, you're better than this. Bro, this is the mentality that I hate. Okay, let me make this very clear. I love Cross because I know people are me. The could be mentality is the problem with the community. At a certain point, you have to accept facts. I'm not saying I'm not guilty of that either, because I am. I talk about what this game could be a lot, because it aggravates me on how much potential it had. But at a certain point, you got to stop going from could be to what it is.
Goes to shit.
It's been how many years?
We're now in two shitholes. A D2 shithole and a D3 shithole. But the perception is huge. A D3 signifies a new beginning. Something they tried to pull off with Edge of Fate, but it just didn't sell it. It didn't sell it because it ain't sexy, man. It wasn't sexy. You gotta have, here's the thing. I didn't agree with Luke Smith on a lot of stuff, but the man knew what was sexy, except for that sunsetting shit. That shit didn't work out. But he did know what was sexy. You gotta make it sexy. When they
Thanks
threw
for 3 months, Ariel.
the saga, all right? When you saw the Beyond Light, Witch Queen, Lightfall, and you saw that banner, you were like, fuck me, that's sexy. D3, you wouldn't even have to sell that shit. It sells itself. Now, granted, let's be clear what a D3 actually means for us. You would probably be getting every single weapon you've ever earned in Destiny 2 back in D3.
Yeah.
So that we're clear.
I was
You'll
just
eventually
thinking
work
about
your
that
way back up
Galahorn
to
for the 5th
Prismatic and
time.
all of the other subclasses. Every exotic quest will eventually be ported into D3. And but be clear, it will be everything that has existed in D1, D2, but in D3. But the perception would still be, at least initially, better. People would see D3 and go, oh, is there something new here? You see what I'm saying? So the same shit, but a higher number. Yes, but you sell the dream. And if you shit the bed, don't worry. You can make a Destiny 4. And that is my pitch to be studio lead for Bungie. That's really the only answer I got right now, guys. You know, and here's the thing. We're going through this right now. Bungie's doing what they're doing. And look, I don't think it's... I mean, we'll see what happens. If Star Wars somehow saves this fucking game, I will watch every damn Star Wars show out there. That you guys have. What would y'all recommend?
Yeah, it's not going to.
Is that the one y'all wanted me to? I will watch the fucking all the other Star Wars shows. If Star Wars somehow saves Destiny in December, I will never talk shit about Star Wars.
I know there are
Not that I
people
will
that have
talk
gone to
shit about Star Wars,
playtest it,
but
and
I,
I've
you know, I
heard that
don't
it's
necessarily
not
think
good.
It has that much pull, but maybe it does. Maybe it does. We'll see. We'll look at the numbers. I'm really curious to know.
Hate to
will
break it to
Renegades
you.
perform better than Edge of Fate? I'm also curious to know, will people like Datto here and other folks come back to Destiny? I know Datto says he'll be back in Renegades, and I hope so. But I mean, other people that have walked away, will they return in Renegades? And I just don't know if it's gonna have the pull that a Destiny 3 would have had. You don't even have to market a D3. You could just put up, oh my God, you could put up a poster with like D and a 3 underneath it, and just very faded out. Like you could barely see it. People would lose their fucking mind. People would lose.
It's funny because you could argue that Star Wars is almost as dead as D2 right now.
Let me just say this.
What are you smoking? True? How is that true? Bro. Bro. Star Wars franchise net worth. Oh, a franchise net worth of over 68.7 billion as of 2021. What are you smoking, bro? Star Wars is dead, bro. Shut up.
Is one of the biggest crybabies I've ever gamed with. Unless buys every expansion.
People still hate it?
Goes to the Eververse store.
Bro, you are not comparing Destiny to Star Wars right now. Shut up.
And bitch about every sandbox change, but he's there for every twab, and he is completely locked in, and he is present. I'm not trying to talk shit here about less, but a point I'm trying to make is that even your most negative people, they're paying customers. You know what I'm saying? Now that's from Bungie's perspective. From Datto's perspective, or a content creator's perspective, I completely understand where things just become too wearing. Plus, the internet's just strange, man. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff you guys put in DMs, y'all gotta chill, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all got some of y'all just like.
That's why I have my DMs closed.
You know, he's getting a little out of hand.
People are weird.
And I'm not even talking about the dick pics. You know, it's like one thing to get a dick pic. It's definitely not something I expect to pull up in an email, but it is shocking. But the point is, if it just stopped there, that would probably be all right. But then, sometimes they go beyond that. Some of y'all's messages get really kind of hairy, man. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know what Datto and
what sort of side tangent are we going on, Cross?
I want you to just like put it in an email, put it in a message, and then just save it as a draft and come back 10 minutes later. And if you're like, that's probably not a good idea, then delete that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for a lot of things. I just want you to just say, under the umbrella of a lot of things you could possibly send in a message, I want you to just save the draft, come back 10 minutes later, read it, okay? Have that post email clarity, but before, don't do it. Have that clarity before you send it, and then see whether or not it's a good idea to send. The company is ran by incompetence now. All the actual talent was fired by Pete because it cost money. The issue we're in now is that we have no talent, no ideas, no consistency. Sony, now being the CEO of Bungie, needs to either rehire talents that were let go, who were integral to the gameplay, or hire individuals who actually care about the integrity of the franchise that is Destiny and will bring us back to a more grounded experience. We need smart people, not doormats.
Is this one of those phones in like that server room that's just like posting random messages on the internet, or is this a real person? Bro, all the actual talent was fired by Pete because they cost money. No talent, no ideas, no consistency. Sony, now being the CEO of Bungie, needs to rehire talents that were let go or who were integral to the gameplay. Do people, is it just the cool thing now to just do zero research before you flap your gums on something and just pretend you know everything? Is that just what people are doing now? Always has been? No. Bro, I don't even, I can't even put my brain cells together to sit here and try. Should I try and explain why this guy's stupid, or should I just move on? Like he has a point, but like this is just wrong.
Here's the thing, buddy. All those fine individuals that did leave Bungie, yes, some of them were
Oh my god,
unfortunately
bro.
let go. Many of them left with golden parachutes. Okay, and they left with a fucking bag. And so I'm
Okay,
not
yeah.
saying Sony can't possibly pull them back, or ask them to come back, or maybe Bungie. When you walk away with, you know, $100 million, I don't know if any of those guys will ever return because they made a lot of money. I don't know if they necessarily got that desire to
Bro,
want to come back.
if I made
will
$100
say
million
this, though.
working
I
at
do
this
like
company, I would never come
Allison
back.
and the narrative team. You know,
Ever.
I miss Chris Proctor. I wish that he would have stayed, but he had his reasons.
Especially
for leaving
since
the
there
business.
are
I just think
alleged cases of upper management mooning the rest of the studio from the upper floor glass, sticking their cheeks in the window. You know, maybe I'd be around for the content, but like, I'm not working there, bro. We need an update on the Chris Barrett lawsuit, bro. It's been like, what, like 6 months?
that it's a tough situation you're
Maybe
handed
longer.
right now to be like, hey, you just killed Thanos. Now you need to suddenly make everybody excited about the future for Destiny. It's not going to be a sequel. We're going to have to do all of this under budget, and don't ask for any extra resources because Marathon is the priority game to get out. You see what I'm coming from? And I know some of you are saying, Cross, you're making excuses for Bungie. I'm not making excuses for Bungie. I'm saying the situation that the Destiny dev team is under right now. And it sucks. It fucking sucks. Raid team is cooking though. That was a rated Dungeon team is cooking. Now, Renegades is coming. I don't know if it's going to fix anything. I do think that the game's going to be pretty dead from now until then. We'll have October that's got some spurts in it, the exotic quests, and the 6-player activity for festival. But November's looking pretty dead. Michael Salvatore is also returning for the music there for Renegades. We'll see what happens. And again, it's not saying that, you know, old people that have worked on Destiny would never return. I wish like Joe would have stayed around. Like I wish Joe would have stayed around and kept working on Destiny, even if he did want to stay game director. It has been incredible talent that have moved on from Destiny, and it's super unfortunate. You know, I know Joe especially still tweets about Destiny quite a lot, and he still actively plays Destiny a lot. I'm curious if they would ever return. PvP team.
Have you seen the video about
guys, I don't think
Parsons
we have
cutting
much of
and
a
running
PvP
with
team.
his
All right,
Sony
I'm gonna be
payout?
honest, PvP players,
No.
you guys, if you want PvP updates, that will happen in Marathon. Get some sandbox changes here and there, but I just don't see anything crazy happening on the PvP side. I will say, I mean, look, here's the thing. I primarily play Destiny these days because, you know, I do like...
I didn't say it already. Irish,
experiences.
thanks for the
I like
38
gaming
months.
Dungeon experiences too, and I like the narrative. Narrative for Edge of Fate was pretty good. I'm curious to see what they do with Renegades. And raids and dungeons, or at least the raid here, was good too. It's my job. Yeah, we make money playing this game, but we also make money playing other games. That's the nature of streaming. If you think for 1 second Bungie is actively paying fucking me to play their game, you guys are out of your mind. I don't...
Okay. I get what he's saying, but like, also just Yeah, okay. Sure.
I don't think you realize just how cheap Bungie is being. They're not even doing like any type of sponsorship deals or anything like that. There's been no sponsorships on their side for well over a year. Anyways, I'm gonna
I he was literally just sponsored to play Destiny Rising. What is he talking about? Because I got the same offer, but I couldn't do it. Because I was at Clyde's wedding. That's not Bungie. That's Bungie's intellectual property. It's NetEase, but it's owned by Bungie. The Destiny IP is owned by Bungie. He's talking about from Bungie. Yeah, I mean, I see your argument, but like, I'm trying to think. Because I know that people do get paid to fly out to the studio and playtest things. I don't know if that counts. I don't know if he's including that in here. And I could have sworn he was at one this year. I could be wrong. I don't want to speak for him, but besides the point, like he is right in some regard. Like Bungie really does try to go out of their way to try and not pay creators for sponsorships, which is why you see a lot of, again, this, oh, ho, 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 I can feel my blood boiling. That's one of the things I've always hated about them is that I feel like Bungie really does take advantage of their small creators. So they try and hit them with the hashtag Destiny 2 creator and pay them in silver. They pay them in in-game currency to promote their stuff, instead of actually treating them like people and a business and actually paying them real money. And I'm not going to get into that whole tangent again, but yeah, and then they what's the word? Incentivize them by giving them emblems to give out to their communities. And then they'll go pay, yeah, they'll go pay like big creators like let's just use the most iconic example is like the Lightfall one, right? Where you see like Mizkif, Emaru, Shroud getting paid to play. And it's like those three combined for, let's just say 6 hours of sponsored stream is probably around $250,000. You know how many Destiny 2 creators you could pay and incentivize to make greater content and really try and push for a bigger reach with $250,000? You know how many small creators would appreciate even a fraction of that? Shroud playing wasn't awful. See, Shroud was actually interested, and I feel like he did put good effort forward. But obviously, Shroud doesn't need the money, is my point. There's no hate towards any of those people. They just don't need the money. Those people are unbelievably rich, and I don't think people realize how much they get paid to play. You're talking tens of thousands of dollars an hour. And especially if they don't play the game, they just log on, kind of goof around the campaign for a couple hours and log off. Not to say that I haven't done that with other games, but you get my point. Is instead of actually taking care of their own community, I really just feel like they take advantage of their small creators. And nobody wants to talk about it because a lot of those small creators are afraid of getting blacklisted, and they just want to be on Bungie's good side because they think it's going to propel their careers forward, even though it really won't. Bungie does not help these people grow. They have to do it on their own. That's just the unfortunate reality of it.
I'm gonna ask that the Destiny community. God, am I really about to ask this right now? Let us be kind. Let us show other gaming communities what it means to be. Never mind. Fucking no, I can't do it.
What is he talking about, bro?
No, you fuckers are toxic. I can't do it, man. I wish we could. I wish we could, but it ain't happening. It ain't gonna fucking happen.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.
I love Cross. I was like, dude, what is he yapping about, bro? He's like, just baiting. All right, YouTube, if you enjoyed this react, make sure to subscribe to the channel and come check us out on Twitch. And we'll see you in the next one.